was growing in my homemade compost. That's not why we're here. Anyway, we're gonna have to taste another one. I don't love it. I could be completely wrong though. And you're gonna see them caterpillars floating, baby. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. I have been out here this evening getting all of my flowers planted out that I told you about in a video when I was planting out some of my flowers, because I didn't do it last night and I didn't water last night either. But today I turned on the sprinkler and I let it go probably for like 2 hours. Yes, my water bill is higher in the summer and late spring, honestly, because it gets hot here really quick. But what are we doing today? Y'all, we gotta harvest stuff. I've been so focused on getting the garden ready, like getting new garden beds in, planting things out. There are things in these Greenstalks that need to be harvested. Also, the Swiss chard needs to be harvested. Oh, and I did look up my garlic sprouting more than one stalk, and someone told me here that it's called witch's broom. That person said it was from changes in climate. Then someone else said it was maybe a psychological or something. It was some kind of trait. Either way, when I did just a little bit of research today, it said I needed to pull it as soon as I could so that it does not rot. So this is what we're calling a witch's broom. I only put one clove down there. That one clove should only send up one stalk, like right here. You only got one. I have two right here. I have three right here. And when I pull that up, the casing around the clove is going to be gone, or the cloves is going to be gone, and the cloves are going to be exposed. So I've seen it happen before. I just never really looked it up. I was like, well, still usable. I can make powder out of them. Same thing I'm gonna do with these, but to avoid them rotting. And I did used to pull them early because I was like, I don't think this is what this is supposed to look like. And every time I pulled them early, that's what it was. The cloves that had formed were now also sprouting. So don't know if it's weather or if it's a trait. I'm really not sure. Those are the two things that people told me here. So if you want a little more information, I will use the Google because all I did was like Google, I don't know what I Googled, but I Googled witch's broom garlic. Got a little bit of information, decided we need to pull it. But so we're not gonna do anything with the onions. Y'all, these nets is wild. I'm gonna put my straw back on here. I think they're coming to the soil because they weren't on this one at first. They were over there. Now they're gone from that one and they have moved to this one. So I'm gonna put my straw back on. We're gonna harvest the things in the lemon herb Greenstalk because that needed to be harvested a long time ago. We have a whole bunch of strawberries, y'all, that need to be harvested out of both of the Greenstalks. So we're gonna do that too. But first I wanna pull this garlic. We have all of our baskets on the table, so we will see how much we can fill up. And right now, if I need the freeze dryer, I will be able to use it tomorrow. It's running now, but it'll be done tonight. That's why I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and harvest. So anything that I know I'm not gonna use immediately, I can go ahead and preserve it. So let's get started, y'all. All right, so we're gonna start with the garlic in the greenhouse because way more of this has witch's broom. I guess, is that what you say? Way more of this decided to do the witch's broom thing than the ones out in the garden. But as I pull these, I wanna tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare, and I wanna thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare offers classes for hobbyists, creative professionals, and everyone in between. I'm focusing on stepping up my editing game, and Skillshare is the perfect platform for me because I can learn at my own pace whenever I have time, wherever I have time. And they have a wide yet structured and curated catalog of classes. I am currently working through the Davinci Resolve Masterclass 20. It is the complete video editing and color grading class of 2026. I love that I can pause and try what the instructor is teaching. And if I don't get it, I could just go back and watch it again. And right now, I'm taking lesson 11, and I have learned so many ways to save time and use way less effort when I'm editing my footage. And I like that I can follow along with the instructor. The instructor in my class, he speaks as if he is in the room with me, and I really like that. And on Skillshare, there's an option to follow the instructor. I am enjoying the instructor's way of teaching so much that I have now followed him, and he has 2 other classes that I'm very interested in taking. I have said it before, I really wish I knew about Skillshare when I first started using Davinci Resolve. Y'all wanna hear something funny? When I was taking the class, I was still, going on about my lessons. And then I put kind of 2 and 2 together, and I realized that the instructor provided us with different things, like different sounds, different transitions. I did not realize that was for us to work along with him. And so I went back and kind of restarted it. I took some of the classes again, and it was really cool to do the project that he was doing. And I actually really like it a little bit more because I could do exactly what he was doing, and I knew that I was doing it right because it looked like his. Once I complete this class, I cannot wait to really start putting more of what I'm learning to practice in my videos daily. Seriously, the part of Davinci Resolve that scared me the most is actually easy. My mind blown. Skillshare has creative classes taught by world-class creatives, like professional illustrators, renowned designers, and entrepreneurs. It's the best place to learn a new skill or pick up a new hobby. So if you're looking to reconnect to your creativity and maybe avoid some brain rot and doom scrolling, Skillshare is where humans go to learn from humans, not AI. So if you're interested in getting started with Skillshare, the first 500 people to click the link in my description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. Thank you again to Skillshare for helping me edit better and for sponsoring this video. All right, y'all, so let me show you what I was talking about with the garlic. We got it done. Look at the roots though. Like, this was growing in my homemade compost. That's not why we're here. Anyway, see, this was one clove. It did form the other cloves, but then those cloves started to sprout. They said that they could rot, so I definitely wanted to grab them. I could still make powder out of these. I have to clean it up, pull the outside skin off, and it may not even be worth it to do that because they're so small. Like, this one was making a whole clove, but then it just started sprouting everywhere. That's what it's doing under the ground. If you see that, and it's okay. We can either cook with it. I don't think that it's worth it to use a whole tray in the freeze dryer, so I'm probably not gonna do that, but I'll clean it up and I can start cooking with it. Compared to what we planted, this is not a big deal to me. And none of this is from the September planting. All of this is either from November. This is all from November. That's interesting. It's all from my November planting. I did not get the greenhouse until after, I think it was close to like Black Friday, yes. And then my last planting is beside my first planting. None of my September planting did this. I think September is gonna be my time. Anyway, just wanted to show you, this is what we got. Like I said, we're probably going to start eating it. Probably could do like some, what is that, garlic honey? I don't know if I would use it though. So we'll probably just use it in cooking for right now. I don't see any allium leaf miner. Normally, if it was here, you would start to see it in like the roots and you could see where they were going into the vegetable, but I don't see any of that. I think it was whatever causes witch's broom. All right, let's move on. We're gonna move on to the strawberries, and I'm gonna put them in this basket that has a towel in it, just because I think that's a better idea than putting it straight into a basket. Let us go. Okay, y'all, this is doing magnificently. I was not always harvesting because I was waiting to harvest with you all. Try to put you closer so I also still don't have to bend over. But look, like they look amazing. They look amazing. Depending on how many we get, they might go into the freeze dryer or we might just eat them fresh. This one looks like something was eating it, so we're not gonna do anything with that. Probably gonna give it to the chickens. But we have a lot of strawberries on here. And then we also have the new berries too. So this is great. This is actually great. Let's taste one. See what they taste like. Look at that thing. That's amazing. Let's see. That one is sweet. I hadn't really tasted a real sweet one. Thankfully, saved for on this video. I hadn't tasted a real sweet one. I have been eating them, but I haven't tasted like a real sweet one. We're gonna have to taste another one. Also, I have smaller pruners. I don't know what I did with them. I was breaking down boxes because I cleaned, the back porch again. My daughter came home. She said I'd give it 2 weeks. I said, now why would you say something like that? That's what she said though. She know how I do. I clean that porch and then I mess it right back up. Okay, here go another big one. Let's try this one. That's another large one. See, that one is not sweet. That's interesting. Still good, but not sweet. That one at the top was though. There's more. Oh darn. That one was not ready. We're gonna take it anyway. We got quite a few on here. Then the little brown ones, I'm cutting those off. Any little tiny ones, I'm cutting off too. I haven't seen any issues with birds, so that's a plus. Or roly-polies. You know, my whole point in putting my strawberries in here was the runners and the fact that I had to fight nature to get them. That's one thing I'm not noticing. Now, again, I do want them to be sweet. So we're gonna keep trying that. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, we got that one that was really sweet, but it surprised me because they haven't been very sweet. All right, I think we're done with this one for strawberries. Let's go to the other. But look what we got already. Very nice. I love it. All right, and this one, isn't it beautiful? It's so pretty. Let's see what they taste like on here. That one is not sweet. Edible, but not sweet. It's okay. Maybe it's not warm enough yet. I'm gonna cut these off. They was sitting in that soil. That's another thing why I feel like I need to go ahead and put the straw back on too, especially for the strawberries, because some of them will go backwards and they end up sitting in the soil. But I am trying to make sure I harvest them often. That's why I said we're doing a harvest video tonight. I had other things. I need to start seeds, my last set of seeds. I haven't done that yet, but we'll get it done because those seeds don't take a long time to germinate that I'm about to do. And push come to shove, which you all know I'm not gonna do, but I could direct sow them. This is a nice red one. Let's see. Now that one is sweet. Interesting. Here's another one. All right. So let's see what we got out in the way of strawberries. These are both June bearing strawberries. We have a little bit of time before we get like a really big flush, but that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm excited. Okay, got my other basket. We're gonna go in the greenhouse and grab this Swiss chard. Y'all could not see me. My bad. We about to grab the Swiss chard. We probably gonna grab any of the brassica leaves too, because the cabbage moth is here, and so she chewing all over it, dropping off the little babies, and they eating, baby. And some of these leaves don't look great, but we'll see what they look like when I get them in the house. We'll more than likely eat them fresh, but if we don't, I don't believe I would put these in the freeze dryer. I would blanch these and freeze these just because I've never rehydrated leafy greens. I will try it eventually. Not gonna try it now because I know that I know a good way to preserve Swiss chard. I use Swiss chard in like ramen. I also will saute it for a very short moment. It sautés up like spinach. I don't like spinach. I don't do it for a long time, but I will put it in the pan, saute it up with a good seasoning, like complete seasoning, and it's really good that way. But I still need the crunch. I do not like slimy vegetables, and spinach and this is very slimy. I eat spinach raw. I do not eat Swiss chard raw. That's just my preference. I think that's okay. How do you eat your Swiss chard? I know a lot of people say like people grow Swiss chard just for it to look good because it don't taste good. I eat Swiss chard. Do you eat it or do you grow it for it to be pretty? Do you use it in smoothies? What do you do with Swiss chard? Share it. Swiss chard get a lot of hate on the internet. People be like, nobody likes Swiss chard. They grow it for the looks. I've heard people say that. Anywho, let me get this harvested. And so this wasn't even supposed to be here for the summer, but I'm thinking if it stays, because Swiss chard, I know if I have it in fall, it normally bolts on me, but I have also seen people grow Swiss chard all the way through summer. If it stays, I'm going to let it. It's actually very pretty and edible. The colors are very pretty. Do you grow, what is it, rhubarb? They're pretty too. You can't eat the leaves of rhubarb, but they're very pretty. They grow kind of like this. They look like Swiss chard to me. I don't grow them, but I've seen them grown, and they are perennial. So as I understand it, I'm pretty sure they come back every year too. I mean, that's definitely what perennial means. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, that they are perennial. We're gonna take this in the house, clean it up, and go ahead and get it frozen. I don't freeze dry everything. I freeze dry a lot of stuff now though, but I will stick with the freezing method for this Swiss chard. I was very nervous when I put these plants in. They look terrible, like they was gonna die. Look at them now. Look at them now. But I'm gonna leave them. If they don't die out, I'm gonna leave them for the summer. And they don't normally have a lot of pests, but these definitely have some pest pressure. And if you remember, I had some Swiss chard out in the garden, but we had to pull that, and some of it was actually flowering. It was from fall, but we had to pull it when we put the new bed in. We didn't put that bed in together, so you wouldn't know that, but you will have noticed the Swiss chard is gone. And that is because I had to pull it. Anywho, there you have it. We have harvested the Swiss chard. This will come back. Doing this is called cut and come again. So you can cut the leaves, the larger leaves, leave the smaller ones for photosynthesis, and these plants will grow right back. They'll just be just as big later. These were planted in spring. I want to say in February in the greenhouse. So now we're gonna get the last leafy greens from the green stalks. And this one has some Swiss chard, a pretty orange looking color. There are nets all over here, y'all. I mean, they everywhere. I don't love it. I do not love it. This is a collard. It's getting eaten up by that worm. Caterpillar. Caterpillar. It's not a worm, it's a caterpillar. And these plants just look real sad. But if they do start to grow back after this, like we have some pretty bad leaves, honestly. They are still edible. They're really small, but they can go in with the smaller Swiss chard leaves when I freeze it. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna let that Swiss chard go a little more. I'm only taking these kale leaves because they are getting eaten up, but I can clean them up, blanch them, and put them in with the Swiss chard. It'll just be mixed greens, essentially. Got us another kale. I gotta figure out what's going on with these nets. I'm gonna put down the straw first, see if that helps it. If not, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I got no idea what's going on with all these nets, y'all. All right, you got some collards over here. We harvested from this already this season too, so this is still going strong. Has a few holes, but nothing like what's going on over here. I'm gonna let that Swiss chard go a little longer. We got nets over here too. Somebody said the soil might be too moist, but this soil was like really dry earlier. The nets were still here. I went ahead and moistened it because the plants were looking really bad. So I don't know if that's the case. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I'm also thinking that they just lived in the soil over the winter and they hatched. And so they're just here right now. Just like, you know, like in the house when you get nets, that's what I'm thinking. Because where they come from, baby, in the house, they came out that soil. So I don't know. I could be completely wrong though. But whatever the reason, they got to go. Ain't nobody trying to be out here fighting nets every day. They want to touch their Greenstalk or harvest their food. I didn't have this problem last year either, so got no idea. Got no idea where the nets came from this year. All right, we got a few larger ones over here. Some of them have holes in them, and you can see the worms on there, but they're not worms, they're caterpillars, sorry. But when I go in the house, I'm gonna put all of this in vinegar and you're gonna see them caterpillars floating, baby. That vinegar works. I used to do salt, but vinegar really works. So that's what I do now. Anywho, that's the rest of the collards. Now we gotta tackle this herb Greenstalk, and I wasn't thinking about the herb Greenstalk, so I filled up all of these baskets. So I have 4 baskets and they're all kind of filled up. And I think it's a good idea not to harvest more than the baskets can hold. And I only say that because if all of these baskets are filled, that means that's a bunch of stuff that I have to do. So maybe in our next video, or at least this week, we will get that herb Greenstalk harvested. I'm not stressed about the herb Greenstalk because it could just keep growing. Herbs aren't one of those things that's gonna die if you don't harvest it. It's also not one of those things that something's gonna eat if you don't harvest it, right? So I'm not like pressed about the herbs as much as I am about my leafy green vegetables and my strawberries. And I was pressed about the garlic because I didn't want it to rot. And so maybe in a future video, I don't want to say how soon, we'll get that herb Greenstalk harvested. If I decide to do it and I don't do it on camera, I absolutely put a picture in the community section. I want to make sure that I'm sharing all of my harvest. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I definitely share my harvest over there. I just don't always harvest on camera because sometimes it's hot. Like tonight, something is biting me. No telling what it is. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.